Stop scrolling for a second. I want to know if this has ever happened to you. You're having a perfectly normal day. Then you open your phone. Someone your age just bought a house. Someone else got married. Another person just landed their dream job. And suddenly your perfectly normal life starts feeling like a failure. You put your phone down and think, wait, am I falling behind? But here's the scary part. Nothing in your life actually changed. 5 minutes ago, you were fine. You didn't lose anything. You didn't suddenly become less successful. So how did someone else's good news make you feel like you were losing? And what if the reason you feel behind isn't because you're moving too slowly? What if you're not behind at all? Stay with me, because before this video ends, I'm going to ask you one question. Just one, and if you answer it honestly, you might realize that the life you've been desperately trying to catch up to isn't even the life you actually want. Think about it. Somewhere along the way, most of us were handed an invisible schedule for life. Graduate by this age, get a good job, make money, find someone, get married, buy a house, become successful, and somehow have everything figured out. But who created this schedule? Seriously, who decided that if someone becomes successful at 23 and you become successful at 33, you lost? Imagine planting 2 seeds. You water both of them and give them sunlight. One starts growing quickly, the other doesn't. Would you dig up the second seed after a week and scream, "Look at him, he's already growing, what's wrong with you?" Of course not. You understand that different things grow at different speeds. But when it comes to ourselves, we forget. Your friend gets married. I'm behind. Someone your age buys a house. I'm behind. Someone you went to school with starts a successful business. Okay, I'm really behind. But behind who? And behind what? Life isn't one race. We didn't all start at the same place. We weren't given the same opportunities. We haven't faced the same struggles, and we're not all trying to reach the same destination. So maybe you're not late, maybe you're simply on a different road. But here's where things get dangerous. You can actually be happy with your road until you look sideways. Imagine you're walking, you're moving forward, you're feeling good. Then someone runs past you. Suddenly you think, wait, am I moving too slowly? But did you stop moving? No. Did you suddenly go backward? No. The only thing that changed was who you compared yourself to. That's the strange power of comparison. It can make your life feel worse without anything in your life actually getting worse. You can love your phone until someone buys a newer one. You can feel proud of your progress until you see someone moving faster. You can be perfectly happy being single until you open Instagram and see, "She said yes." Nothing changed except your comparison. And social media makes this even harder. Every time you open your phone, you're walking into a room filled with everyone's best moments. Someone is traveling, someone bought a new car, someone got engaged, someone started a business, someone apparently wakes up at 4 a.m., runs 10 kilometers, makes $1 million, and somehow still has time to make breakfast. Meanwhile, you're negotiating with yourself about getting out of bed. Of course you feel behind. But here's what you're forgetting. You're not watching their life, you're watching their trailer. You see the vacation, not the stress. You see the promotion, not the rejections. You see the smiling couple, not the arguments. You see the successful business, not the years when nobody cared. You're comparing your unedited life to someone else's best 15 seconds. So let me ask you something. Have you ever been happy with something until you saw someone who had more? Maybe you were proud of your progress until you saw someone moving faster, but your life didn't suddenly become worse, your eyes just found a new measuring stick. And sometimes the person you're comparing yourself to isn't even someone else, it's an imaginary version of you. The person you thought you'd be by now. Maybe when you were younger, you imagined yourself at your current age. You'd have money, confidence, a perfect career, a great relationship. You'd wake up at 5 a.m., exercise, drink something green, and somehow enjoy it. Then you reach that age and think, wait, this is it? But that version of you was imagined by someone who had never lived your future. Your younger self didn't know about the setbacks, mistakes, heartbreaks, unexpected responsibilities, or moments that would completely change what you wanted. Yet you're judging your real life against a prediction made by someone who didn't have all the information. So ask yourself, am I actually failing, or is my life simply different from what I imagined? You're allowed to change the plan without calling yourself a failure. But now here's something even bigger. What if the life you're trying so desperately to catch up to isn't even the life you actually want? Imagine everyone around you suddenly starts running. You don't know where they're going or what's waiting at the end, but because everyone is running, you run. Years later, you finally reach the destination, look around and think, wait, I don't even want to be here. Sounds ridiculous, but we do this with life. Everyone chases money, so we chase money. Everyone wants a huge house, so we want one. Everyone is getting married, so we feel like we need to get married. We start building lives that look impressive from the outside, without asking whether they actually feel good on the inside. And that's how you can win and still feel like you lost. Now, here's the question I promised you at the beginning. Imagine nobody could see your life. No Instagram, no TikTok, no friends watching, no family expectations, no strangers judging. Nobody could see your car, your house, your relationship, or your job title. Just you. What would you actually want? Not what would impress people. What would make you genuinely happy? Would you still chase the same goals? Would you still feel behind? Maybe your dream isn't fame. Maybe it's freedom. Maybe it's doing work you enjoy. Maybe it's having time for the people you love. Maybe it's simply waking up with peace. Once you know what your finish line looks like, you stop panicking every time someone reaches theirs. Their success doesn't mean you're losing. You're not even running the same race. And before you decide you're behind, look back. Think about yourself 3 years ago. What were you struggling with? What did you desperately want? Now look at yourself today. Maybe you're not where you want to be yet, but you're probably not where you were. Maybe you learned something, survived something, left something, started something. Progress doesn't always look impressive. Sometimes it's saying no. Sometimes it's starting again. Sometimes it's simply surviving a chapter you thought would break you. Not every victory gets posted online. So maybe you're not behind. Maybe you've just been looking sideways too often. Maybe you're comparing your chapter 3 to someone else's chapter 15. Maybe you're chasing deadlines nobody actually gave you. So the next time you see someone succeeding and that little voice whispers, "You're falling behind," stop and remember, their success doesn't mean you're failing. Their timing doesn't make you late, and their path doesn't have to become yours. You don't need to have everything figured out today. Just take the next step, then another, then another. You're not too late. You're not running out of time, and you're not behind. You're still learning. You're still growing. You're still becoming. And maybe that's exactly where you're supposed to be. Before you go, answer this in the comments. What's one thing you've achieved that your younger self would be proud of? It doesn't have to be huge. Maybe you survived something. Maybe you finally started. Maybe you simply didn't give up. And if you're trying to understand your mind and become a better version of yourself at your own pace, subscribe and join us. We're figuring it out together, one step at a time.